Hello and welcome to The Talking Step. I'm John.
I'm Matt.
I'm Michael.
I'm Josh.
Oh my D, are my ears deceiving me? Are these sounds real? Or is this a new episode of The Talking Step?
What are you talking about, John? We've been recording episodes for years now.
Years and years, but guys...
Wait, did you forget to upload them again?
I didn't.
Thanks for inviting me back, guys. I really appreciate it.
Yes, that is Josh's voice. Josh is back. It's a grand reunion. I'll tell you what happened, everybody. I saw, one day, we obviously, the podcast's done. It's not around anymore. So I was scrolling through Instagram. I was like, what's become of this, this next step world without the Talking Step?
Whatever happened to that Next Step show?
I don't know. And then I was looking through, and I saw that they, in the current season, are doing a Christmas reunion show with all the old friends back. All the members of age group.
Not everybody.
Well, yeah, I mean, but enough people, though. It was
No.
It's good. Why are you immediately getting critical with it?
Listen.
We can't even get a Christmas reunion episode going.
If you're gonna do a reunion episode, you gotta go endgame with that. You know what I'm saying?
And you want to they do a thing where it's they erase half the members of the Next Step and then someone comes back.
No.
That would be cool.
If you're gonna bring a couple of them back, you bring all of them back. You gotta pay some of that Disney money. If they could shell out all of the Avengers and then some, you could shell out for all those.
Josh, who is it missing that you did that you wanted in there? Name 5 characters.
Name 5. Name 5 characters, Josh, because I don't think you even remember.
Oh my god.
Well, to fill in the blank, I'm what? Let's answer some questions first. Where have we been? And it's time to get real, folks. It's time to get real. We got canceled.
That's true.
We got canceled, Well, not exactly. All right. So we got a little big for our britches, right? We all thought, I remember me and you were thinking of maybe doing a movie career, we were auditioning around, and then, I thought, why don't we open, Talking Step up to, like an IPO, we opened up for stock options, right? Mm-hmm. So,
we even had our own Bitcoin, right?
We did. And then within minutes, we had a hostile takeover. And they canceled us, almost right off the bat.
So
they canceled us right away.
Is this like pirate radio here? We're going off
No. Well, I'll tell you what happened. After that, we got acquired by a company called Compu Global Hyper Meganet. They sort of wanted to restart the franchise. They wanted to do a new reboot, right? So they started Talking Step The Next Generation, right? Where it was a bunch of I guess the plot line was it was our kids, right? That were doing a podcast. But it didn't really connect well, It wasn't a lot
it didn't really
wasn't a lot of
GA.
following areas. And then after that was also immediately canceled. Then followed by an all-women reboot, sort of like a Ghostbusters vein, and it got a lot of online flack, as you know. Josh, I believe you were one of the big trolls behind that, weren't you?
No.
Yeah, I think you were. I remember you using them.
No,
and then after that, you won't believe it. I got a very, very complicated. We had 3 prequels. We don't talk about those. They're crazy prequels. And then there was a brief show that was on for a while that it was there was a whole bunch of new Next Steppers and they fought crime. And I actually came back in that series as a sort of like the Power Rangers. And I sort of dictated crimes for them to fight. Sort of, it was like a Power Rangers ripoff.
Like M.
Yeah. I was but I was a big floating skull in the sky. It didn't make a lick of sense.
Are these still podcasts?
Yeah, these were all podcasts, actually. That was the most confusing part.
You're going way too far. For TV, movies,
Evidently, okay.
If
So,
these are podcasts.
just recently, I don't know if you know this, but Family Channel launched its own streaming service called Fanflix. And if you don't know, if you can't find any of these things, you're not looking hard enough, by the way. If you're going online and thinking, what are they talking about? None of this is real.
They got Smart House.
Yeah, they know.
No, they don't know. Smart House is on Fanflix.
So Fanflix, the Family Channel streaming service, has commissioned us for one singular episode of a Christmas reunion show.
Wow.
We're right after Smart House.
It's a long way to go.
airing
Why do you
again.
keep saying
It's a-
Smart House? What is Smart House?
You
Is that like
never
Smart
s-
Guy?
No.
Are you thinking of
Are
Smart
you thinking
Guy?
of Smart Guy?
No, but Smart Guy was amazing.
It was amazing, but what's Smart House?
Smart House was his Disney-produced movie back in the early 2000s about this family that moves into the Smart House, and the house kind of works against them. It did everything.
That's such a generic plot.
It cleaned the house for them. It all the kids were having so much fun in it, and then it just turned against them.
Wait.
It wasn't a horror movie either.
It wasn't horror?
No,
It
no,
sounds
no.
like it's 2001: A Space Odyssey, but in a Smart House.
Yeah, but it was Smart House, and it was amazing.
That actually sounds good. You want to start a podcast about that show?
Yeah.
No, it's a movie. It's a movie. It's Smart House. You guys gotta watch Smart House.
So I know what everyone else is wondering. Josh? Is that Josh from the first couple seasons of The Talking Step?
Hey, it's me coming back like you're
He's like the Elfie of this show.
the uncle who was
The
uninvited
Elfie, yes.
to Christmas, and then somehow he's back. How
Well,
did he come back? Nobody invited
A
him.
lot of people say, guys, where's Josh? Why wasn't Josh in the
I
last couple
found the
seasons?
spare key
What happened
that
to
was
Josh?
behind a fake rock, and then I snuck into this podcast.
Well-
and everybody said, "Why is he here?" But they didn't have the gall to say, "Maybe you should leave, man." So
I think
here
you-
I am.
I think
The
you-
point is you're here, and that's what matters.
I think Josh had a little too much juice.
a little too much eggnog. A little
Well,
too much holiday.
a lot of people don't know this. Josh actually, the reason Josh left the show is he was given a spinoff. Josh moved to California, and it was about him trying to become an actor.
I was
in the
born
same
in
vein
California.
as Joey. Remember with Joey when Friends ended?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty much the same as Joey. How'd that work out for you, Josh? How'd your spinoff go?
It didn't work out. Yeah, I did it for like a good 2 seasons,
Yeah?
and then I got canceled.
The Talking Step presents a
And then I
Josh
got
story.
canceled and then I got canceled because apparently I'm nothing without the rest of you. But then again, you guys are nothing without me. So
That's
when you
true.
Think
We-
about it.
we
When you
also-
think about it. We all bring something.
Yeah,
to
we
the
also
table
ended up getting
here.
canceled, Maybe after this special with you in it, we can maybe if we bring you back, maybe they'll let us do more episodes again.
I don't want to be too desperate, but I'll do anything.
I see that. I see that is it true that you were working for a certain political administration recently?
Yeah, but
It says here that you were the Secretary of Defense for like 2 months.
Yeah. So
Till you got personally fired by the President of the United States.
Yeah, see, people are taking the word nationalism to heights where they really shouldn't. If you're a nationalist, that just means you love your country.
All right. Well, I can see why you were fired. And Matt, who was here the whole time,
Yes, I'm here.
you did a stint on Dancing with the Stars after we got canceled, right?
Apparently, I broke the #1 rule. The models.
I don't
were-
see anything wrong with that. Honestly, it's society.
And Michael, I hear you're working at a Staples Copy Center.
Yeah.
As you know, I did a brief stint. I played the newest Bourne character in the new Bourne movie. It underperformed immensely.
What was it called?
The Bourne Nothingness.
You shouldn't have been born.
It was called. We used to cut those jokes out.
I'll decide in post. It was a rocky road for all of us.
Try that again.
So the next step said they were having a Christmas special, so I
Yeah.
got the whole gang back together. Josh was doing a show in Vegas. I pulled him out of that.
Oh, magic tricks! I was really good at them. I
Yeah,
promise.
you were doing like a nine-year stint there. That not people sign up for a 9-year stint in Vegas, but
Well, I just thought it was really interesting that you had to sign up for busking.
Well, sometimes people just go out on the street and they take your spot and they just didn't sign up. So you have to run in there and you got to start, throwing some of your props at them in order to do it. So sometimes I was running. With half
I
the
think you're
props.
better off doing this for our show.
Yeah, are you sure? I was really good at magic. You want to see? I mean, I could do.
And Matt, you were working. Oh, you were doing the con circuit, huh? You were at.
I had a record.
You were at Etobicoke Comic Con, which I didn't know was a thing.
Yeah, it was in the local church community center.
Oh, did you have a line up around the block?
It was pretty good. My favorite was when Marilyn brought her beautiful pot roast to the potluck.
Who's Marilyn?
I don't think this is Comic Con.
Is this just some lady who was at the church?
Hey, this was Comic-Con, okay?
No.
It was slash my church's Christmas recital.
Yeah,
It was Comic-Con. Henry Cavill was there.
Hello.
He's been on rough times since losing Superman.
It's hard for everybody out there. It's hard for us. All of our shows got canceled. My many spin-offs. Okay, so I guess, that covers what we've been up to, Oh, yeah, and then I went and picked up Michael at the Staples Copy Center. Which,
Yeah.
your manager was okay with you taking the night off, right?
I think so.
I guess we'll find out.
We don't communicate well.
That's,
or at all.
if you ever need any help or anything.
I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm doing all right.
So the Talking Step Christmas Special, Part 2.
Wait, we're not talking about part 1?
Do you remember what happened in Part 1 of our Christmas Special? No, our Talking Step Christmas Special. Remember we did one years earlier?
Yes.
I feel like
Josh was in it, we did trivia.
Okay, wait, for real though. We did a part 1?
Yeah, remember we did a Christmas Special before?
And we never released it, so you're going to release them both?
No. Remember we did it? I remember that's where we fired Josh. Remember I did a radio play? I gathered you all here, to come back, and if we get this going, Famflix will sponsor us for more episodes, maybe a whole season, and maybe the fans could do a petition or something like they've done for so many other shows, but not us, huh?
Remember that when they started a petition to make us the official,
I do remember that now. Never mind, I take it back. There's been petitions. I withdraw all the statements.
A petition for us to be the official podcast.
I guess
actually.
Yeah.
I guess we can't just randomly say that we were canceled, right? Without warning.
Yeah.
When I thought it'd be a good idea, we watch this Christmas special that they've put out, and we talk about it again, just like we old do, just like old times. And just like the first time I tried to find the next step, it was nowhere to be found online. Absolutely nowhere. Until I realized that it's nowhere near anything Family Channel related, because guess what? The next step doesn't air on the Family Channel anymore. At least not new episodes.
Where does it air?
It airs on the children's BBC, if you can believe that.
The CBBC.
The CBBC. Which is very confusing, because here in Canada we have the CBC, so...
We have the BCCC, which is BCC Canada.
Okay, so on to the episode. All right, just like let's forget all this, crazy make 'em up. What's going on? So we jump back immediately in. I found this on the BBC. We throw it on this iPlayer thing. It's only available in England. I looked up what's on the Family Channel now, and you won't believe it. Supergirl, The Good Place. Wipeout.
On the Family Channel?
The Good Place. A beautiful, amazing show, but an existential nightmare.
For a family, yeah.
Yeah, I guess Family Channel has pivoted,
Okay.
But this is the days of Disney Plus and Famflix.
Wait, is Famflix a real thing, or did you make that up? I can't tell anymore.
If you can't find Famflix, you're not looking hard enough, kids.
Right.
I think the craziest part, though, is how after they had that party, the house cleaned itself up. It was amazing.
We're not talking about Smart House anymore.
We're not. What are you going on about?
It was crazy.
So
that's the future
so we
of
put
it.
these on these episodes, and it immediately jumped us back to old
It was
times.
nostalgic.
We immediately saw stock footage. We hope it was Toronto, and it threw us up into the Christmas spirit. It reminded me, though, it's called "It's a Wonderful Life," Piper, and not pointing fingers, not saying anything, but if you guys recall, in our Christmas special, the play I wrote was "It's a Wonderful Life."
Riley,
Miss
it?
Kate. It was Miss Kate.
Miss
It's a
Kate.
Wonderful Life, or It's a Wonderful Kate, I believe.
That's right. We wrote. We did
But-
a "It's a Wonderful Life" Next Step parody, didn't
Yeah,
we?
and it did almost follow the same beats, but here's the thing. We are not the only people to do a It's a Wonderful Life parody as a
But we're
Christmas
the only
special.
ones to do the one for Next Step. I think they should be.
I
paying
don't
us
know if
royalties.
it's our intellectual property that we can really play with, so I don't think we have a real leg to stand on.
But once
And
again,
I think everyone and their grandma has made an It's a Wonderful Life parody. But that being said, I'm insulted and embarrassed. All right, so moving on. So we jump in. It is the Next Step Christmas party. Rickety Rochelle shows up. She's there. I guess she's still on A-Troop.
yeah. For context, we haven't been watching the show, so we're like, I mean, yes, we've been
But
totally
you
watching
guys
the show.
haven't been watching? I have. You guys haven't? I know Josh hasn't.
I
have.
I've been watching.
Yes.
But we're jumping in.
But you know what? We want to start in fresh, as if you know what? We feel like a lot of people maybe obviously because people grow older. I feel like a lot of people probably have lapsed from the show. So we jumped into it the exact same way probably a lot of old fans did, blind, and it was still an enjoyable experience.
We were still
because
able to follow.
it was just chock-a-block filled with old characters. Name them. How many new characters did we see immediately pop up? Like, first you start off with Rochelle saying, oh, bam, we got the next step Christmas party. And then, who walks in?
There's,
Everybody.
Emily and Michelle and Eldon and Amanda and... Was Amanda? Yeah.
Yeah.
Amanda
I'm
came
Chloe.
late, but-
Amanda, I'm still at Elite.
Yeah, I'm still at Elite. Chloe, Stephanie...
The
Miss
poor
Kate.
one, Chloe, friend of the show, Jenny Pappas, remember?
Yeah.
Did we mention West yet?
Yeah,
Wes
I was
was on
actually
the show.
surprised to see Wes.
Yes, because as you know, he was in the box office breaking X-Men Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
Which Matt said it was the most recent X-Men film he has watched.
That is true.
That is
a
so true.
statement.
Because when you really think about it, that movie really was the last X-Men movie that came out,
I have so
and
much
when it
to
comes
say.
down to it, it was a movie. And
We're gonna look back one day on that X-Men movie that
and
Wes
say
started.
that movie took place.
Yeah, it existed.
It existed. And in color.
Yep, full color.
Full color.
Totally digital.
Digital, and that girl from Game of Thrones was in it. And moving on. Everyone else was on the show, despite their many new careers. I'm sort of loosely caught
Most
up.
of them probably
Some of them have
Instagram
different
influencers.
careers. I think some of them work as influencers, I believe. Some of them still do touring dance shows.
Wait, who works as influencers?
I believe the girl who plays Amanda, she works as an influencer.
Okay.
You have
Logan Favreau.
yes, but it doesn't matter. People
Well,
you
the girl who plays Emily is an influencer.
well, I feel like she just has a big following.
And I'd say Victoria Balsera is.
Oh, definitely.
Well, I feel like anyone with a big following on
Just
Instagram can
becomes
be
an
labeled an
influencer.
influencer. But I know that
But she was specifically like selling
Sloane,
prod.
the girl who plays Sloane, and Brittany Raymond are in this cheerleader show, and same with Talia. Talia wasn't in this. You know what? First, let's name the two characters who weren't in it. Talia,
Tiffany.
Daniel, Tiffany. Where's justice for these characters,
Noah.
people? Noah. Well, I hear he's in the new Disney's West Side Story.
Wow.
We're gonna watch that.
When you're a jet, I hope it's on Disney Plus right away, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Famflix.
Dear Officer Krupke, Krupp you.
That reminds me, Matt, you were working on a Nat Geo show called Swiss Facts.
Yes.
Tell us how that went during the interim when we were gone.
Well, the pitch was really interesting because most of the panel were from Switzerland.
Yeah.
And
Swiss people are from Switzerland?
yeah.
Oh, is this the old argument we got into?
So the Nat Geo people were pretty upset when they realized quite quickly that I made up most of my Swiss facts.
Yes,
like, on the
yes,
spot.
as everyone should know.
Yeah.
And we bring up those Swiss facts because Alfie was back for this episode and he played an integral role.
Oh yeah, he was a Swiss prince, right?
Yeah, remember that was the whole bit?
That was the bit. I remember now.
I wasn't there for that part. I think I was kicked off before.
Okay, moving on. Okay, so when everyone's there, they're all thing, and then they're doing they hired Eldon, who I guess works as a choreographer and a DJ, to
Typical Eldon.
high
strung.
yeah, and he's still very distant, still very fuzzy headed, just like old days. And he's putting together a choreography for the Nutcracker Christmas, which is always a good one because it's also public domain, just like your
for
Wonderful
their
Life.
40th anniversary.
30th anniversary.
Oh, was it 30th?
Which I believe is once again a reference to our radio play in which we said that Miss Kate was in the first year of the next step or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I wrote that radio play really fast. I think it took me like 40 minutes. I was like counting that out. I was on a roll. So when everyone's back, Piper, who we saw introduced right when we were leaving the show. Piper was introduced. She was thrown in as the new character, James's sister. And evidently she has taken over the show as the lead character, I believe now. Roughly, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it seems that way.
So she feels self-conscious because she doesn't have a lead solo, or her solo is in question.
No. She has the solo she wants to practice for.
Right, yes. But the point is that it harkens back, all the way back to those early first season anxieties. And typical of a Christmas show, she feels neglected. She doesn't even get a gift in Secret Santa, which is all a numbers thing, right? It's all about the math, right, when it comes to Secret Santa.
They have champagne-less champagne glasses until...
They don't pour the champagne, but they have the glasses, and that's what matters.
They did pour it eventually, Matt.
No, I didn't see him pour it.
Yeah, they did.
Really?
They poured
Didn't it was like sparkling apple cider or something?
Alfie came in with the...
Right. Well, that was at the end of the thing, though, I thought.
That was at that point, too, yeah.
While all this is going on, Piper feels neglected, and it's both it's like It's a Wonderful Life plus It's a Christmas Story plus It's a Home Alone, all mashed up together, and she's like sort of wishes that she wasn't there / wishes she never went to the next step, wishes everyone was gone. The whole thing, the whole Christmas shebang.
Yeah.
And she wakes up in a world where she never went to the next step. And it is a dark Twilight Zone reality.
And somehow Giselle is the...
Ghost of Christmas
Giselle
Past?
Would be the ghost.
She's the guidance through
the
spirit.
angel person. But,
yes.
So I immediately assumed that her character was dead.
Yes, as one is to do, we assume the character's a ghost, because Giselle had yet to show up in the thing.
Yeah, so we just assumed her character was dead.
You know what? Similar to us, I would have liked when these old characters show up, that they randomly throw out some random fun fact of what they did, what they were doing in the meantime, like us. But whatever. It goes as you would expect. We were a little, there was little bumps and bruises when we some lost characters, but,
What are you talking about? Just not knowing what character is who?
Certain characters, it turns out, so the thesis of this is that Piper, she's integral to all these plot lines over the seasons, right? So her not being at the next step has a detrimental effect on the whole thing,
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of it?
I thought that it was interesting to me to see Piper freaking out and the same kind of anxieties like you said before, like how it harkened back all the way to the original next step. I thought that was pretty interesting, but ultimately, I don't know where I'm going with this.
It's like, what is he going for here?
What are your thoughts, Michael?
I really like that she had a specific list of things she had to do. She had to convince all these different characters that they used to and still do love dance.
Right.
And so she had to go. I was excited for her to kind of connect with each character,
well,
but then I realized that there was only half an hour left, so she could only do it with 5 characters,
yes.
and then the rest just kind of joined.
Well, we see, Emily and Michelle are working at a coffee shop called The Next Steep, or a tea shop called The Next Steep, which is of course a genius name.
Amazing.
Evidently, I guess that's maybe what they were doing, and they were never encouraged to become managers of the
yeah. And then James is a janitor.
Yeah, I found that a little cliche, but I didn't know they thought so lowly of the janitor, but I guess so.
It's weird how James had to be a janitor and clean up that whole place, where in Smart House that whole place could clean up itself. Technically, it was amazing.
Was Smart House a Christmas movie, Josh, or
no? Absolutely not. It was just a genius movie.
So I guess if this was a Christmas Carol instead of It's a Wonderful Life,
yeah.
Would James have been Tiny Tim?
Well, he wasn't really crippled. I mean, who did seem crippled was Piper.
When she was all
I don't know if they explained that maybe Piper used to be very clumsy, and then when she learned better coordination when she dances.
James was crippled with anxiety.
True. You know what I would have liked? I'm gonna be honest. Here's what I was pitching as a Christmas special. Okay. Here's we use Alfie as the rich guy buying the studio, which I thought was really cool, right?
Yeah.
Except instead we flip it. It's like Die Hard. All right. So they're at the Christmas party. Alfie comes in. He's the Hans Gruber, and he's saying, I am coming to take over the. Well, I don't know how he talks. Swedish.
And then
I'm coming over to take over the thing, and then Piper has to crawl through the vents, take out all the henchmen, and therefore save Christmas.
And then the penultimate scene is she has to dance.
Yes.
In the dance studio. But there was a big gunfight earlier where all the glass from the audience got shattered, and she has to dance on glass.
Yes.
Jeez.
And they play that song,
Yeah.
Dancing on Broken Glass.
Yeah.
No, they should have just hired us.
That
Yeah.
was Christmas.
Well, they did have some new music in this. I did like that. Some Christmas jams. I believe they're
And
up on
there's
YouTube.
also a really awesome Christmas version of Coming Home, which was the season 2
Yes.
music.
Yes.
I'm coming home.
I'm
Coming home, coming home.
Ah, it's copyright. You can't sing it.
So sorry, right. Unlike our show, which is owned by Famflix, your best choice for movies and TV shows / sometimes a podcast. For some reason, a podcast.
For some reason, a podcast.
So, do you think, if you were in Piper's shoes, would you have done the same thing, or would you have just enjoyed the moment, Probably, ran around the place, be like, maybe she should have maybe tried to stop some past events from happening, some atrocities.
Yes.
You didn't see Piper even once mention, maybe, stopping a mass shooting or something.
She could have stopped Chris from leaving. Remember Chris?
Oh, right, Chris! Chris wasn't there. Hashtag, where's Chris? Hashtag, where's Tiffany? Hashtag, where's the other one? Phoebe. Hashtag, Daniel.
Hashtag, where's Mitch?
Who's Mitch?
Mitch McConnell. Where is he? I mean, he's
Oh,
definitely not looking out for the interests of his own
Oh,
country.
right, we're doing politics again. I don't want the death threats this time, Josh.
This time.
We got way too many after Matt's thing about
Have we
Swiss
gotten-
facts.
got
Have we gotten
fired.
to the point?
Yeah, Josh worked for a certain presidential
I
administration.
got fired.
He kept it subtle.
Yeah.
I got
Well,
fired.
Josh, I'm gonna need you to take off that red "Make America Something" hat again.
Well, it's got to be something. I don't know. It can't be
It's gotta
great.
be something.
It's not there.
It is
Speaking
Piper
of America,
Spencer.
where is Talking Step located? Is it in Canada? Is it in the U.S.?
Actually, well,
Next time.
regularly we're located in Canada, but today we're in the North Pole. Santa gave us his studio. We're in the Family Flex studio.
I mean, the
Famflex.
show, not the talk. The
You said the Talking
The
Step.
next step. Sorry.
The next step, it's in ambiguous Toronto. Remember?
Yeah, sometimes remember we've had long discussions.
Like
about
every
it.
single movie where they think it's in New York, but it's actually in Vancouver.
Yeah, but remember in Scott Pilgrim, it took place in Toronto and actually filmed in Toronto. It was really
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember I was in Toronto while that was being filmed.
Nope,
And
no, you weren't. That's impossible.
I was.
This was like 2006. We knew you. You were not in
I think
Toronto.
I visited.
That wasn't in 2006. 2006 is when Smart House came out.
But there is no way that I've never even seen Smart House, and I know it didn't come out in 2006.
Let's look it up on IMDb.
You're saying they ripped off 2001: Space Odyssey 40 years afterwards?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
Josh,
did.
don't lie to us. You don't have to look it up on IMDb.
Let
It's
me
on your
look it
own
up.
page.
Smart House. It was 1999. I'm sorry. It was a good movie. Look at
So dumb.
look at this. Look at the poster.
Oh my god, I love Kathy Seagal.
I don't think that was her. Is it?
That's Kathy Seagal. You
Did you know that Smart House was directed by LeVar Burton?
What? Really?
Yeah.
no way.
It says it right here on IMDb.
That can't be true.
LeVar Burton, you.
I take it back. Did he think he directed it straight through his visor?
Is
Why is the
LeVar
greatest movie of all
Burton was
time?
the Reading Rainbow guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take a look. It's in a book. Reading Rainbow.
And you've all been sued.
You're here, I need you here.
Reading.
And back to the talking step.
Did we
Um,
take a commercial break or something?
So, when Piper realizes that the whole place is in disarray and the life she's affected, she takes it upon herself to join everyone back together. She teaches people the spirit of dancing again. She gets Michelle and Emily to teach her moves because I guess she's clumsy. And Emily is immediately nasty to her, so I guess Emily has had some character development, but lightly.
And John, we were this close. You can't see my hand right now because this is an audio podcast.
Yeah.
We were this close.
A finger apart.
We were this close to a Riley James dance with their original music.
We were. We had some great flashbacks. We had some great stuff.
They edged us.
I honestly thought you were going to say they were this close to regionals. They were this close. They didn't even mention regionals or internationals or anything.
Well, regionals are right around the corner.
They are right around the corner. That's what they don't realize. So through the spirit of Christmas and through the spirit of dance, she gets the whole gang back together. You know, she saves it from being sold to Alfie, who is going to turn it into some luxury condominiums. Albeit, I would imagine they'd be quite small condominiums because it is just one studio room.
I think that was the best aspect of this. These episodes was capitalist Alfie.
Yes, of course. That is of course what I thought would happen to Alfie. You know, that's my headcanon. Alfie becomes a rampant industrialist, right?
With a
man bun.
A sweet man bun.
Forget rating the episode. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rank the man bun? Matt.
7.
Michael.
10.
Josh.
6.
11. You're all wrong. And, you know, I felt the warmth. I felt the warmth of Christmas. We're in a rush today because, you know, Josh needs to get back to his hard life. We're on his Vegas show. Matt, his Nat Geographic show, and
I have to restock some shelves.
Right at Kinko's or?
Staples.
Kinko.
Right. I'm filling up. I'm not going. Oh wait, no. I'm joining Matt at the concert.
Oh, okay.
I'm actually helping clean up the tables. So, since there's a small chance Famflex won't pick us up from our episodes. I was wondering if you guys wanted to relay any messages you want to leave for our listeners, in case it's a long time since they hear from us again. Keep in mind when I asked Josh, hey Josh, I know we had some dark times in the past, but I want you to come back. And Josh looked at me and he said, "I forget what you're talking about. What was that?" And I said, "Josh, we're doing a Christmas special for our listeners for the Talking Step."
I honestly didn't remember.
And Josh said, "Do you think they would care?"
I suggested, why don't we just start a whole new podcast where we just talk about HBO Succession, But
anything better than Smart House. So Josh, do you have anything to say to our Do you have anything to say to our listeners? Any Christmas greetings, Christmas, hellos, Christmas, keep your head up, something like that.
I'm not going to mention Smart House.
Well, there's the reason why you were fired. All right, Michael. Do you have any Christmas greetings and a nice little send-off for our listeners, our loyal listeners who may be back? This may be new people. This may be new preteens who dislike us. This may be people who are in college now who listened to us when they were kids, and they're like, "Oh my goodness, I remember listening to these guys. They weren't funny."
I would say to all of our old listeners who have rediscovered this episode and are kind of taking a trip down memory lane with us, I just have two important words to say that I think really resonate with all the fans out there. And it's something that you can take into your everyday life. It's something to pull you out of the deepest, darkest moments. And I think we all know what I'm about to say, so just say it with me. 3, 2, 1. Stand up!
Smart House.
Dick on the ice.
Okay, guys.
Okay, Matt! Matt, do you have any send-outs to give? It's a little Merry Christmas greeting. I didn't know Michael was going to lead into an ending there.
We did not see eye to eye on that.
I didn't know where anyone was going with that
None
one.
of our values are aligned at all.
If whoever you're attracted to doesn't find you handsome, they should at least find you handsome.
That wasn't either Christmas or talking / next step related.
But it was red-green, which is the colors of Christmas, so it passes.
Thank you.
It is a Canadian show.
I was hoping someone would pick
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess, yeah. Well, we're not in Canada anymore. We're airing on the CBBC. Well, I want to say, Merry Christmas to everyone. I don't think any of you guys said that. Merry Christmas to everyone out there, or Happy Christmas, as they say in England. It was great to be back. It's great to get the whole gang together, and I'd like to thank the Next Step and, whichever production studio is making it now for the CBBC. I hope it's the same people, and you guys did a great job, as always, and thank you for doing a quick reunion, and so we can throw together this slapdash reunion episode.
Yeah.
And I think this would be the perfect time, lead into a nice final Christmas of tagline, or what will you do at the end? Step into Christmas. No.
Dance.
Stand up.
Christmas.
Knock your step off.
Yeah, Talk Your Step Off was...
Yeah, but you guys didn't like that one before.
Oh, yeah,
this
we
is
just
where we
changed it.
usually end up arguing into it, but maybe now we could actually come to like a final agreement.
Let's make a final one. What's the actual tagline of our show that we?
Well, I was really thinking